Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Looks like another
No.
exciting morning. Look at you, Josh. You got your glasses on today, getting all sophisticated.
Yeah. The eyes were wearing on me from yesterday, at least. Just you're behind a bright computer screen all day, so it makes it a little tough to keep focused at times. I got the glasses
That's good. That's good.
on.
Crappy morning so far. I had such a big sugar rush on all these stocks that are running up. And
Did I hear you say you got out on a lot of your positions, including Archer?
yeah,
Okay, cool. I funny enough, because this is our first time chatting right now. Really, I wrote to them in the room, just same thing. I got out on SoFi, and I also closed out on Archer. I just feel like we'll get a bit of a pullback. Not
I didn't.
much,
I didn't
but
close out on Archer.
what was that?
I didn't close out on Archer.
Oh, you didn't close Archer? I did.
No.
I was in
No, no.
from I was in from under 9, so I just wanted to take the money and run. A bunch of our students got in with us there earlier in the week. Um,
I
it's funny
closed.
also, just on the flip side, we don't really trade buyouts, but you put Dick's on the list because they're the company that bought Foot Locker out. What a monster Dick's Sporting Goods has been the last 4 or 5 years coming off COVID.
They killed it, man. They really killed. You would never think of that, but like, one thing I hate about Dick's is that it's so overpriced. Like I feel like these things that you go there, like things are expensive. By the way, we're gonna pop in AYTU.
Finally, yeah, that's over $2 now at least.
Yeah.
Like you said just before, it was like kind of a crappy morning, not as good of a pre-market. So that's how you're able to tell right away. And listen, if pre-market doesn't provide as much, we're always hopeful for things to just start popping, going crazy right now. But it's best to not be as aggressive.
Yeah, I'm just waiting a little bit. I would love to see a slingshot in the market right now with some of these stocks that we're in.
Yeah, small little push here to begin. We'll see what happens because the PPI report came out earlier today. Powell gave some comments, I think, just before too.
Is Powell allowed to buy stock? Is he
Good
on that?
question.
Is he on that call list? Like the politicians, the Pelosi list. Uh, Isn't that bullshit? Like they should really they got to get rid of that. I mean, that is ridiculous. But we're getting a pop in. I still own this stock, the OKLO. I really, really love the nuclear stocks. So it had a lot of consolidation at 12 to 4 o'clock, almost all day, right at these highs between 37 and 38. Big iceberg order just showed up in AYTU. Oh, he's
Ooh.
cold.
Geez, and also just to throw this in here because we were focused on it yesterday. We spoke about this because nuclear is good. The quantum is not as like strong as nuclear, I think, yet, but this stock is QBTS. That long-term graph looks really nice. This thing just
Well, isn't there?
exploded.
I was watching on TV there's a big conference going on in crypto. Did you see that?
Uh,
Toronto, I think it is.
there's a couple big conferences coming up. There's one in Vegas. That's like the super big one. Yeah, a lot of people hype that big conference up. Unless if Amazon, Apple, Microsoft is getting into the game at this point, I don't think there's going to be anything that's revolutionary because, hey, now the whole government loves crypto, right? Or most will say. So, a lot more acceptance, at least here in the US.
Rich is
Wow, this
call.
thing's
Brian's calling that
flying.
RCAT, Rich, Josh, and he's right. It's got a nice little pop. Once again, Archer's moving also. So
Dude, I like this QBTS. This is really good. That's the best long-term graph, though, if you're looking for a swing.
the QBTS, the quantum stock.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's all kind of lumped up in one together. It's like the drone stocks, the AI stocks, the quantum stocks, the nuclears. So they're all going up. The OKLO is really strong too, of course.
Quantum's almost at an all-time high, or is it at a high? 12?
Yeah, so I'm saying like that. It just started popping yesterday, and it was a good morning runner. So I like that. It has a good spread, decent enough at least.
It's crazy. All these stocks that we have on a watch list are just out the door. See, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like they always find a new list of stocks that show up when the market opens up.
Well, now it's 9:35 now, so we always say, and we don't just say it for no reason. We say it because we don't trade the first few minutes, the first 3 to 5 minutes, and that's where you could tell that AYTU started off good, but like Fausto just said right now, it's on the way out the door, you said? Is that how you phrased it? Yeah, this thing's tanking now, so it's not worth watching here. We got a halt on the downside. NFE, who's that? Oh, that was on the losers list at least. That was on the loser side. All right. Can't short it on my platform, on our platform here. It's hard to borrow.
Right, good pop too.
Listen,
Shockingly, Disney.
hey, we got a few stocks right now starting to prove themselves to us, so I like it, and see if we can continue the trends on them. Go back to the Fausto's OKLO trade there, Rich. It's holding pretty nicely around 38. That one's more of a category 4 or 5. Just looking at the spread, how few orders there are out there. Looking at some other AI stocks, those aren't doing as good.
Yesterday's highs was 38, 39. Yeah, the 40 was a big iceberg order. I don't know if he's out there still right now. Yeah, check.
I'm just looking at the SPY daily chart, the long term for the S&P ETF. We had such a big gap up from Friday into this Monday. I just feel like we're going to fill a good chunk of that gap in due time. For as bullish as this market is, and as I think it's going to be, I just still think that we'll see technicals play out here and there, and you might get a small pullback over time.
I want to, you know what? I want to lose money a little bit. I don't know if that sounds right, but I want some selling pressure. We need to see if this is for real. You need to go down before you can go up, right? So you have to see, are people really believing this, or are they just selling off? You know what I mean? And that, when you get selling pressure coming in a little bit, it's not a bad thing, because if it holds there, we consolidate. You're like, oh shit, you know what? This is for real. And if anybody's shorting, they're like, I better cover, and that causes the thing to rally up more. I mean, we're back to Liberation Day prices, when that announcement came out. So it's okay to sell off a little bit, as long as it's not like what we saw. If you get consolidation, it could be a good sign. But there are different industries that are doing pretty well.
I just caught a good idea here. We'll see if it ends up holding support nicely. But we talked about this yesterday in the afternoon session, just because that QBTS was moving like nice at the time. And I was calling out just, hey, if it could hold over 1140, 1140-ish, that could be really strong long term. So it's beginning to pull back there. You don't want to catch falling knives, but this is the moment where you want to see support try and build. Be interesting.
Just clean my list. I'm looking at some of these old stocks on here. I'm like, what the hell? That we've traded. Nuvo, Disney. Yeah, I think Pony's finished. I don't know if it's on the short list, but that was a hell of a runner. Got to move that off my list.
People asking about the Rigetti trade. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, QBTS just broke right below that support without going back above it. So take a look on Rigetti, Rich. It might be just making the same type of drop now. Yeah, similar. Looking for an under and over on QBTS. If it's not going to come back up and above, then I'm not pressing buy.
Yeah, Lita, that NXT had a great pop. Once again, another big runner at a major resistance levels. So
Bitcoin dropping back down a little bit here. So alongside SoFi and Archer Fausto, I also closed out a good chunk of my Bitcoin position, but here's why. I do futures contracts on Coinbase platform. So
right.
You have to roll over into the next month, or you got to close. So I just figured, you know what, if we get a small drop, I might just jump back in over the weekend and ride it out. But I just took profit. So I'm waiting to see a nice drop on Bitcoin here, actually.
Or if it consolidates, you buy it. You know what I mean?
I got out over last night, so it's already dropped off a decent bit. I was happy with that. But this is where, again, I don't mind jumping in from a higher price if there's better conviction or good reasoning to. I know where my levels are, so we'll see. I had one spurt
Why
just
would
before, but everything's starting to pull back a bit, though. Look at the SMR, Rich. Go over to OKLO, those nuclear trades.
I have a dumb question to ask. Why would Dick's Sporting Goods be interested in Foot Locker?
Wait, what'd you say?
Why would Dick's Sporting Goods be interested buying Foot Locker? What is that? What are they getting at that and other than inheriting all those stores, paying all those fees? They already have it. Unless they're trying to take only way I could see it is it's just trying to take out one of their competitors.
Yeah, that could easily be it, right?
They sell a lot of clothes, Gene saying, mall space, but they're in the malls. I mean, like, I don't know. Unless they want to move out their sneaker business out of their department store and put it in there, I don't know.
Margaret saying mall space. Genevieve saying they sell a lot of
Mall space ain't
clothes.
cheap. You know what I mean? Like, man,
The
Archer
QBTS is
follows with
trying to
that.
come back up and above, but if the markets are going to pull back here coming up, then just be mindful that they're likely to drop with it too. Scott saying maybe because Dick's sees specialty shoes. Possibly. It's funny because you have all these companies that are public. You think like, oh, this company might buy out this one. What about all the private companies? What about all the companies you don't know of and all of the venture capital funds and all of that stuff? So
This Arcat's not backing off.
there's a lot of people with a lot of money. That Arcat trade's been holding well. That's been good.
Yeah.
One of the drone stocks. You called that out earlier.
I don't know what the
And
difference.
Michael, just that Foot Locker is just a buyout. They got bought out by Dick's Sporting Goods, so we typically don't trade buyouts there in terms of the company that's getting acquired. All right, so off to a
I
little
just bought
start with
Arcat.
BTS, but it needs to keep bouncing back up to 12 to justify the move.
Yeah, Josh, like I said, I just bought Arcat.
Just had my stop to break even here. A couple pennies under my entry price on QBTS.
Rich is calling big resistance at 750 on Arcat. Yeah, there's that nice big iceberg order for 100,000. It's huge resistance levels going back in April, a lot, but it's awfully strong. I mean, the way I'm looking at Arcat, if Archer is breaking all-time highs and hovering around that 12, and this is still down there at those prices, I mean, Arcat was a screaming buy around $5. Huge support levels there. It feels like one of the only few stocks that hasn't popped yet.
There we go on QBTS. That's not going to hold, it seems. Michael saying, I was thinking Dick's was looking for a good price to buy Foot Locker. If it's not finalized yet, it's still the question of, are you really looking to pay 82% higher from yesterday? So, I would just hold off on Foot Locker. I would go elsewhere in that regard. There's a
Well,
bunch of other stocks out there, so it's totally fine to look at something else.
it looks like the deal's done. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, literally, it's started 6:30 this morning. It's been trading right around here on 32.50, 32.75.
That go-to trade Fausto is starting to go back up a little bit. It's got some resistance, though, back from last year around October time, though.
I know we trade that stock a lot. I remember GoTo. We did pretty well with that stock. You're getting stock still halted, the CLIK, and that thing got crushed. ATXG still halted. The LOBO that I had on the watch list, really nice movement, but like you can see, it's pretty much done. 9:30. Unless it consolidates here, it looks like that party's over. Are we going to make this new high? Come on, let's go. AKLO is doing testing that 38.
Yeah, it's still
Well,
holding
it took
there.
the guy out. It took
The
him out.
QBTS is trying to bounce again. QBTS is not like a category 1 or 2 though, so just be mindful of that. I wouldn't say it's a 4 or 5, probably a 3, but it's got some spark to it. It's got some life to it, which means like, hey, you can make money on it, but just protect yourself because you could lose some money on it too. Genevieve saying go-to is now teaching AI. That's interesting.
Hey,
Yeah,
Josh, I just
Archer's over 12 right now. I may just take another day trade on it, jump back in on the day trade side of it, but got in from under 9 before the earnings came out. So that's very justified to take a 30%, 25% profit. It was good.
Red Cat looks like it's doing. Arcat's making a little bit of a Fausto flag. Arcat just is a lot better trending day trading, a day trade of stock.
Yeah, I agree. It's there. It's just holding nice.
Yeah, it's pretty, really pretty. It looks like it's going to test the 750. I mean, huge iceberg order. Just a huge green bull came in. We'll see how that works out. What do we got? We're already 15 minutes in.
Got that big resistance at 750 on RCAT, 111,000 shares. Now you're doing a webinar at 12 o'clock today, right?
Yes.
You're going to be showing level 3, level 4, and hopefully by then we'll have better direction in the market. Hopefully a couple nice pops to work with and just show there even.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin's dropping, so I'm actually very happy about that. I was so attached to it heading into May and June. I bought it from the end of April, so just 2 weeks. Hey, I'm happy with holding on that freaking long. I have a short attention span. I get impatient, but I didn't want to give up profit. So I'm very happy seeing this right now. It's much like when you get out of a trade and you see the stock crash after, you feel so happy about it, right?
You do. Yeah, it is a really good feeling.
But for all my Bitcoiners out there, don't sell your positions. I had to adjust a little bit because it's a different type of trade. It's the futures contracts on Coinbase. So if you're long term, stay long term, please. I have some Bitcoin I haven't sold. Just that's the regular spot Bitcoin. So I'm keeping that forever. I'll tell you what, man, get a couple pops here and there. RCAT was good at the open, still grinding up.
We're getting another Bitcoin stock that's moving. I don't know if it's really BTM. You ever heard this one before?
Is this the Bitcoin Depot? Yeah, we've traded that before. Not often though. It's popped for us in the past. I think this is the Bitcoin ATM machines that are around the world.
An ATM machine.
Oh yeah, they've had those forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
you actually log into your
It,
account and take your cash
it
out.
was like one of the first. I don't want to say one of them. It was from a long time ago that they had it, but it's not as
So
useful as you'd think because
like,
everything's done online. So there's all these companies now that have Bitcoin purchasing and like Cash App you could buy Bitcoin on. So
I
you
don't
don't
know if I
really
want to take. I don't know if I want to go on a Bitcoin ATM machine. I mean, you hear all these scary things, people stealing your code and everything. You get that password. I don't know how that works, but I got to
exactly.
look into that a little bit more. That's a little. Sounds a little shady, if you're asking me.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I mean, listen. I like look at the stocks trading at. It's at $2. So you are what the price says you are.
You took the words right out of my mouth, which were the words originally from you a little while ago. So I was gonna say those exact words. Doing good though as a day trade. We'll take it. On a day like today, we're catching just these short-lived pops. OKLO just came down a bit, and I'm sure everything else is now too. My QBTS,
Josh, not change the
everything else kind
subject.
of dumping
I
off.
don't want to change the subject, but like stock that we haven't been trading that has just been a great short. Oh my God, United Healthcare is getting crushed.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, and I'm just saying that in terms of a large cap company dropping off over 50% in less than a month. I don't care what anyone's
50,
opinions are
more than
as far as
50.
like the healthcare situation and what happened with the CEO. We're not doing that. It's just when you see a company drop over 50% in like 2 weeks like that, that's
It
pretty
looks like
scary.
another Tesla. Tesla was at 500, right? Was the highs, and it dropped from like 500 down to like 200. I mean, this is more of a. If you look at both charts, this is worse. I mean, this thing is basically the beginning of April. It was a great short. I mean, a great sell. Huge resistance levels going from August, October, September. I mean, long term, but like this is like really falling up the chart. I mean, like I don't
Okay.
know. There's a little. I think there's a little bit more to meet the eye.
Oh, well, let me tell you this though. So this is pretty cool. Let me pull this up first. Give me a few moments here, but I got a cool story for you since you brought up United Healthcare. Cool in terms of, there's always someone that knows. There's always someone that knows ahead of time. One second, I'll find it. Okay, here we go. Just got it. Basically, there's this giant trader out there that did out of the money puts on United Healthcare at 3:59 yesterday. At 3:59 p.m.
Wow.
And then
Right at
3 hours later, the Department of Justice announced a probe into the potential Medicare fraud at United Healthcare. So there's someone that always knows, right?
Well,
The
listen,
dream.
they're saying that Doge is trying to go up. I mean, listen, let's not let's all agree. There's definitely a shitload of fraud. I'll never forget. I was watching a 60-minute show about, and it's to this day, it sticks in my head. I think it was like about like 8 years ago, and I was watching 60 Minutes, and they were talking about the Medicaid fraud, and it's literally it was like a $60 billion business,
Yeah.
60 billion. All right, and I'm like, how did they get away with that? I mean, how stupid could you be to be paying these people? And they were showing like these pharmaceutical companies actually have these garages, where you rent the garage and they can't go in there because private property. And they're like, that guy's charging like $1 million, a Medicaid fraud and stuff. Like, how did they get away with that? So, and you know what? Like, it's a catch 22. Maybe now they're going after these healthcare companies because to them, they just like, what do? They just pass on the bill to us, right? So maybe it's going to really hit their bottom line now.
Yeah. Hey, Medicare and the health insurance industry is not something I have great expertise in. Over time, I certainly will, but right now, just I don't want to say anything I don't know of. Listen, when that stock is down over 50, something is up. Something's
Something is
broken,
really up.
something's messed up, and it's going to affect the whole system. I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to trickle towards the other major healthcare, companies.
So this stock back in COVID, when it took a big hit, went all the way down to 200. All right, I'm looking at it right now. So there is support levels. If anyone wants to know, there is a support level. Uh, there is resistance levels right around here, just about right above the 250 thing, but it doesn't look like it's holding. This could do this can cause a big ripple effect into the healthcare business. I mean,
Rich,
market.
flip that weekly into, or zoom out on the weekly, you'll see. So and basically go back to, well, yeah, right around 2019, 2020. See how it bottomed out right around $210 roughly. Had good support there. Even before that time, around 2018, 2017, it was bottoming out around that 200, 210. And it might just drop straight down there. So
This is
it's a
not.
scary situation.
Post an alert. Let's share this.
Archer's working out now for me. I jumped in as a day trade from 12. So, I got out on my swing, but at least, you still trade it. You can still make money on it. Oh, Charles, you sold a couple of UNH puts for 1883 after the open. Should have waited. They're now at 32.
Wow.
Closed math from earlier, at least.
Well,
Charles, you
what's
make money
nice?
on it at least. Obviously, it's a tough
What
one
was
to
nice?
let go of, but
What was nice about the United Healthcare trade? Just to let you know, we teach this in class. So some of you trial members in here don't know it, but like, actually, I think I don't even just teach it. Josh gets into it. Even I think when you do it in phase one, the trend is your friend. You don't buck the trend, and we always look for the trend if we're trading at the lows of the day or the highs of the day. And this stock's been trading at the lows of the day, and this is how you can convert a day trade into a swing trade. So that just shows it right there.
just took a dime on that Archer. Just it's small, but right now as a day trade, I don't like how this market feels. Just I don't know. If we can make a nice pop over the high of the day, I'll be happier expecting like a new run. Take a look on Benzinga scan
You
here to
short it
see what
right
they
here?
got here for us.
United
Anything
Healthcare?
new? Oh
I
God,
gotta
look at this one, Fausto. Did you see this? I chatted you right before the open, only because it was popping at the time.
what's
But
that?
little do you know what's going to happen to the stock after. Go over to ATXG. That's a disaster. Look at that. It popped right before the market opened. It was up 200%. It's like, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, imagine buying that right after the open. Hold it
That's why I didn't put it on
down.
the list. I
Yeah.
wasn't too crazy about it.
Go-to trades trying to go back up a little bit here. I mean, it has good direction. It's tradable. Hopeful for obviously a clean pop here now.
I tell you, I really like the Archer, how it's trading right now, and if we can get Red Cat to our cat to kind of like bust through that 750, this thing is just off the races.
Mhm. I've been waiting for RCAT to come back up in our radar again because it was a really tradable stock back in November, December, and it just died off, with the rest of them. But Archer was the one that came back. There's a couple that are popping back up, like the OKLO nuclear trades, and eventually these stocks will have their day in the sun. But as long as they show a good trend, then that's what you want to focus on there.
I did a short on Dick's Sporting Goods. I think this thing's going to drop. A beautiful Fausto flag on the intraday chart. It just broke through a 180 support level, and that was like a big buyer right there.
When a company
Crazy.
buys in.
The crazy part is 180. It was only a 3,600 share buyer.
Oh God,
Was
yeah.
it? But on level 4, it looks like it's like a million.
Yeah, it looks like a beat red line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when a company purchases another company, it's expected to see a dip. Down 14% also isn't surprising because just simply look how much it's moved up the last several years.
Let's
So I'm sure they're going to go back up. It's going to be a great bounce over time at some point. But like you
I don't
said
get it.
earlier, the trend is your friend.
I don't get it. I did a small lot on US United Healthcare in the short, and also Dick's just for fun. You hear Shreyas how we always say do one share, just see what happens. Just go out there, try one share. What's the worst thing could happen?
Yeah.
One share of a $255 stock is 250 bucks.
It's all about perspective. Like I work with students in coaching, and a bunch of you'll get it at first where you trade small size. You're not making the big bucks on small size, and that's expected.
It's the points.
That's what the point of it is. So you don't get frustrated when you see your profit loss. You're like, wait, why am I not up X amount? It's because you're trading small size. You got the training wheels on. Now, if you're just trying to take a stab on something just to have some fun and just like do it to do it, then that's fine as well. Just one share never hurts.
Yeah, well, it's all about saying, yeah, I'm in it. Whatever it is, I traded it.
Yeah, you're just having fun.
You're learning.
On one share, you are not trying to make the big bucks. You are simply either learning or you are just having some fun.
The
That is
got
okay.
you, Josh. I mean, it looks like it's building a Fausto flag, done not more of a funnel, but I know we're only about 30 minutes in. But if we keep testing here around 10:30, I mean, is it 52? Is it a 52-week high? No, it's not. Sorry. It could look like it could break out here. You know what? It's just boggling my mind about United Healthcare. When I see healthcare companies, I look at my healthcare bill I got to pay. I'm paying almost like $4,000 a month for family. You know what I mean? And it's just like ridiculous. Absolutely, it's just beyond me. And I'm like, I have to go to the medical. I was just talking to Rich about this. I'm like, I just got to go. I go to the doctor just to purpose to like get my money's worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who knows? A lot could probably do about Trump signed that executive order to lower prescription drugs, finding out that, Germany's paying, 10 times less than what we're paying. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? It could be I don't know if that's affecting that too, on these healthcare companies because they're going to get, I don't know. It's just that's a pretty significant drop. Something's there, something that's not normal. That's not an earnings. That's worse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, earnings is about maybe 5, 10%, maybe more, depending on one day. This is for weeks now. And then the earnings came out. So something is broken here in the system.
Well, Scott's is coming across here saying that Bill's billing breakdown on Advantage Plus plans for all like United Healthcare is scary. Billing money exchanges provide pharma, Medicare rights. Well, I just like you heard. I don't know if you heard this, but like Newsom from California just said that he's stopping all Medicare for anybody in 2026, the new cycle year, for anyone that's illegal that's in this country. So, listen, for them, they take that money, they're going to lose providers.
Wow. I'm sorry, Fausto. Big pop right now on the QBTS. I wasn't even
Yeah,
expecting this. Just blew through this huge iceberg order. This thing is off to the racetracks right now. Didn't mean to cut you off. Holy shit. It just broke right through a 295,000 share seller at $12.
that's a huge pop. That's an all-time high right there.
Yeah. There, and we just called it out earlier. Told you right around 1140-ish. That's what we were looking to see build as support. It held pretty well there just before on a small shake, but otherwise it's been clean. Bill cleaning up on hymns just before there. That's been his bread and butter stock. So he's all over that one. I'm just going to ask who here is in on the QBTS right now. Is it swing from yesterday or today? Just curious. If you're not in, no problem.
Is this the only quantum one that's moving? What about the other two?
The Rigetti was the better mover yesterday. That was such a good day trade. And that could turn into another swing trade there. But yeah, RGTI, and the other one is QUBT. So like Carrie, Charlene. There you go, Charlene. Very nice.
Archer's testing
Alex
the
and
highs.
Scott on the options. I'm just going to type this here in our chat board, Fausto, just talking about the nuclear stocks like your OKLO, as well as quantum. Just kind of made a post right there. And there's other stocks too. Those are the three, or those are the most tradable stocks in those two sectors. You're making it a goal to focus on tradable, good spreads, all the good stuff there. Those are your best bets, I'd say. John killing it on QBTS. He was in from long before us. He was in from 660, from very bullish perhaps on long-term quantum. I'm very long-term, or I'm very bullish on this, at least from that 1143 price.
I got out of Rigetti. RCAT. Broke my 30-second rule. Sorry.
I call that the AST, or the ASST trade asset. It popped just before, but it needs to get over $5, and then we might have a trade.
I'm not seeing any buyers till 6.
SPY broke a new HOD just a few minutes ago. We'll see if it can continue or if it's going to be more of a head fake here. But
we're getting a bounce in the market, Josh.
What was that?
We're getting a bounce.
Yeah, definitely. It looks good for right now.
Yeah.
See if it's either a head fake or real deal. But it looks great to start here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Screw it. 30-second rule. This is RCAT is not Archer.
I was not expecting QBTS to blow over 12 as fast as it did. It was great build off that 1140-ish that we called out, but whew, it's like the icing on the cake. It's like, I'll take that.
Yeah, this quantum stock is not stopping.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
What's the news on it? Do we know?
Rich, check the news if you can. I think they recently had earnings. I think that's what led to like a better pop maybe a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago.
Gotta love when they break all-time highs.
I mean, this reminded me of the Archer trade. So when I saw it the other day, I'm like, "Ooh, this is incredible. This could be a really a good potential swing trade." Flash a couple messages here just because, hey, if you're a member in our room, we want you to be reading the chat, following what Fausto is calling out, following what I'm calling out, Rich too. So, yesterday we were saying like, hey, our GTI is moving better today, but I like QBTS much more from a historical chart perspective. And both are 100% tradable. Both are really good. But this has been excellent here so far.
I'll tell you, when I took out that huge iceberg order out there at 12, that really kind of like, that was a huge order.
And a bunch of us have been in it. John and Alex, Carrie got in from yesterday, so she's doing really nice.
Okay, so it's going to back off right now. So we can get the slingshot. Let's see what happens when it gets down to that big support level around 12.
Yeah, needs to hold that now.
I mean, that thing went from 12 to 1250 like that.
Teleported.
Any news? Any news on it, Rich? Did you find anything on QBTS?
I'll take a look here and see. You know who's getting squeezed out like no other right now in the quantum stocks?
Just
The pharma bro, Martin Shkreli. Remember him?
Yeah. What about him?
No, he hates the quantum stocks. He's short on all of them, so he's getting
Why do you
destroyed
hate
on.
him? I hate when people say that. Why do you hate? Why do you? What's the hatred?
I mean,
What do you?
you say it yourself, right? Like, hey, if you don't like the company, do a short, right? I
Yeah,
don't know why
just
my
short the
throat's
damn
all
thing.
scratchy all
No.
of a sudden.
I'll tell you one thing. It's not working out too well for him now.
All right, I think that we're better there. There we go. Yeah, I mean, he's getting destroyed on them, though, that's for sure. He's been trying to short them for a little while.
I know a lot of people did really well a while back on quantum stocks.
I mean, we just follow the
Back in
trend. That's the
November.
first thing to do.
I mean, just looking at that chart. My God, what a crazy chart. 10 down to 6. Consolidated, back up to 12, back down to 6. Consolidated, back to 12. I mean, scary to own it at this price right here.
I think the craziest move, and like, hey, I don't talk about it as much. A few of us here like it. Just I'm mentioning it now because it is pretty historic. That Carvana move from the last 5 years, talk about a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, you got to respect that type of run back up.
Don't even remind me. I just sold
Like,
my car to Carvana. I sold it. I was there.
oh yeah,
Yeah, really, painless. They paid me more money. I don't know how I went to other dealers. They couldn't believe that they were going to pay. Oh, I can't compete against Carvana. They also did the same thing. And then I found out why they were selling and getting so much money for their cars. They got smart and they end up buying auctions. I don't know where they got the funding, and they're holding the paper, on the stuff. So they're buying the cars, they own the auctions, they're running it through the auctions, so it doesn't cost them any fees. I don't know if anybody here is in the car business how they know, but there's fees when you buy at the auction and stuff like that. He's cutting out the middleman. So that's basically what they did. And then hopefully that you would buy another car through them. And those cars, obviously, if you compare to other places, they're more money. So, you know, if you own a car, you don't want to lose a tax credit, so you're kind of buying it. You know what I mean? But you gotta. It's a catch-22. You gotta weigh your options there.
the ASST I called out from before, it pushed back over 5. If it wants to go, it could, but again, just use the 30-second rule. Just be mindful if it doesn't make this continuation. Here we go. It's starting off okay.
But that Carvana, I think, is probably one of the better moves out of all the stocks that we saw. I mean, that was at 150, and I still thought it was expensive, but it was a good support levels. Shop to 300. That's a double.
Exactly. From the last 5 years, because of the Dick's buyout last night on Foot Locker, I was thinking like, wow, what a move Dick's made. And it instantly brought me to Carvana because they're both kind of expensive. was like, wow, Carvana had to have had a great run too, right? And
Does Carvana have an ETF? I never
no,
tried to look.
I don't think so. Actually, honestly, you never know. They come out with like
I'll check
50
right
a
now.
day.
Check right now.
How could I find this here?
It does. It has a high yield. CVNY.
Really? Wow. I mean, again, it's not so surprising because there's like 50 a day that come out.
I wonder what that dividend pays.
I'm trying to see where I can. Oh, it begins.
Selling a Electra. Carvana offered us the lowest price at 1,200. We sold privately. Well, Sam, if you could sell something privately, something like at that price, I don't know what kind of deals are, but like if you're selling something more, I guess in the 20, 30, 50,000, maybe. But they're all doing it now, Samuel. Even Carfax is doing not Carfax, CarMax is doing it. A lot of people are doing it. Even brokerage firm. They have like this automated company that does it for them too.
That CVNY ETF is trading only 6,000 shares total in the day.
So that CVNY, the Carvana options, the one that we usually trade, the high yield, the low was at $25, at $45. I wonder what the option. I wonder what it pays.
Let's see. Yeah, you just go right to the website. I'm looking on Chat GPT there for it. But it's only trading 6,000 shares total on the day. So it's not something that's like seriously tradable for us. It's just funny that they have the ETF.
Okay, so QBTS just did a slingshot. Let's see if it's a real or fake. Came down to the low of like 1190.
What does the TSLY pay?
What's that?
What does the TSLY pay? The Tesla Yield Max
Oh,
one?
I think it pays like 120%.
Okay, so then the Carvana one, I'm just on the website. I'm looking just at the numbers. I wanted to get the right one. I think Carvana pays 76.
Let me look. Hold on. It pays.
But again, though, it only trades 6,000 shares each day. So that's like nothing. That's not something that we want you to actually jump into, students. But it's just funny that they have these ETFs. That's what we're just discussing.
I really can't tell.
This ASST I called out before, it's just hanging on by a thread. It's doing a good job holding support, but we're getting a little closer to reversal time. So just, you want to see a pop soon. It's funny, Rich, you just called out MLGO. I went over to that myself just before, only because Kids, KIDZ, was popping at the time. I'm starting to see some familiar names that we've done well on from the last month pop, but they're not going to hold. So and it's funny now that you bring up MLGO, it's like, ooh, that actually is popping now. Let's see if this could stick. Got a good spread.
I can't. It won't show me. Yeah, so the DIX is going lower. That's a good sign.
If this trade isn't going to bounce back up immediately here, just move on. The asset ASST is the best of those small cap little pops.
I think the DIX has the most prettiest short, like trending stock, which is just beautiful. Pop, new low. Pop, very little, new low.
Yeah.
Little. I mean, it's a gorgeous intraday trending crash.
You're saying about the VIX?
No, Dick's Sporting Goods, DK.
Oh, Dick's. That's funny. VIX, Dick's. I got my AC on.
That's okay.
I was going to bring up a very funny story from when I was like, a rookie trader, when I was on my account with my buddy, if you remember. Similar situation with lower highs, lower lows, you're saying, right?
Just a really pretty trending down. I think everybody could see that. That's exactly what you're looking for on a short. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an analyst in this and that, but like, I just feel like, why would you want to buy Foot Locker. I mean, it didn't go out of business or like. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I don't know. I'm 53. I haven't been in Foot Locker forever. I mean, I do buy a Dick's here and there, but like
I've always thought that they were a good company as far as just
Foot Locker.
Oh no, Dick's. I'm sorry. As far as popularity goes, I'm like, Dick's is always reliable. Like you said, they might have a little expensive stuff here and there, but yeah, Foot Locker I haven't been to in a long time, and I think Foot Locker and Champs Sporting Goods were kind of together there, right?
Uh
Remember at the Broadway Mall? So,
huh. Always. That was like a hot thing to do. I think it's probably like I said, they probably have a lot of cash laying around and want to just take out one of their competitors. Because they're
the
really
Q,
not a big. They're not really a big company. Like I said, you could judge. You, you know how big you are just by seeing the price of your stock.
that's it. That's it.
So
Bell
CDNY.
on one of the other trades that popped for us earlier in the week, KDLY. Looks like that one's actually sticking. That one's actually holding pretty nicely.
Oh,
Nice
it's
trade from Bell there. Got a couple bucks pretty much out of it.
so Bill. That's the news. That's why I couldn't find it. So it didn't come out yet. Is that why it was? It hasn't paid. I mean, it looks like it's been out for a while since February. So a month did definitely go by.
I'm going to tell you right now, Bell just gave me an idea because she took a nice trade on KDLY, which like popped really well earlier in the week. It brought me back to the stock yesterday that we were kind of disappointed in. It was SEPN. It was the company that partnered with Novo. It's not doing anything right now. But it's just like I'm like, I wonder if like some of these small caps that we tried to trade earlier in the week, if they pop coming up. I'm going to keep my eyes on this still. I wonder if this will start to pop up in due time, but it's not as tradable as some of the other stocks, I'll say.
What we need right now is consolidation.
Like GRYP, like that is flying. That's making the type of move we were hoping for earlier in the week. So that's where I'm thinking maybe the other one, that could happen there. The ASST trade popping off of $5 right now. That did a good job at least holding higher lows and starting to get a couple moves here now.
Mm.
Even if it's not a name brand stock, even if the markets fall off from here, not everything is going to drop with the market. There will be some stocks that go against the grain and make their own move. You can't force it though, and you can't assume for it to happen. So that's where GRYP is making that real type of run here. ASST also starting to wiggle up a little bit right now, right after I called it out.
It's a great pop right there. What a great move.
SEPN trying to make that bounce. I was
I don't
insinuating.
have level 4 up and running. You see what's
Speculating.
out there? GRYP.
This might get halted here on one more squeeze, one more little pop.
Where the hell did this thing come from? Did news just come out on it? Something must have just came out on it.
I think this could just be day traders trying to run it up or shorts covering just from the news. There was news that came out earlier in the week. Oh, this is the one I think that is partnering with Trump's son's company, American Bitcoin. Yeah, to merge with Griffin Digital Mining. That's Trump's son's company.
I'm going to post it. I'm going to post an alert to show everybody something pretty cool. You don't know what an ICE order looks like? This might be what you look at, what you want to see.
I feel like the ASST here may look to stall out soon.
Is that a nice order, or is that a nice order?
An iceberg, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, an iceberg at like 20 cents, about 2 million shares.
Yep, 2 million. Right in the head. And he's been out there. See, that was a very beautiful setup. If you were just patient and waited, we saw that a little past 9:30 and saw him out there earlier,
Shit.
um, right around 9:45, I guess. Even if you chased it at 80 cents and seeing that big block order out there and start seeing that big green bull that came in, big order came in right around, what time was that? 9:52. That's when it was a big buy.
I'll tell you what, I'll show you a pretty identical one, Fausto, on the stock I've been calling out. I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize it because I wasn't looking at my book map at the time. Rich wrote it in the chat just before. You got this 84,000 share sell order on this ASST that we've been on. And
Oh, yeah.
oh, that's exactly what's needed here for this. This is great. I was getting skeptical about this continuing here at this point because we're getting close to reversal time, but that is a bit of a game changer.
Starting getting another bounce in the market. It's like we're hovering, just looking at the overall chart on the Dow. It's like if you can get past 72.
Carrie asking, do you have alerts set on bookmap for icebergs? No, and I'll tell you what, I'll expand on this. We just kind of cycle through our tabs on the top of the screen. We just kind of see it as we go. We just have our list that we're kind of focused on. We'll pop up new stocks on our bookmap over time, Carrie. But you could set alerts on bookmap for icebergs. The annoying part, though, is I've done it before. If you like the audio notifications, you'll get pinged like 1,000 times over in a minute. And it's just, I can't deal with this. You got to turn it off. So you
Well,
might
no,
need to
does
tweak it a little bit.
does
It's just
Bookmap
saying
have
right there
that?
too.
Bookmap has that? You get alerts on icebergs?
It's like not as much for even an iceberg. I shouldn't have even. It's more on price alerts. So you could set a line if you see an iceberg, and maybe as the stock is going up to it and it hits the line, it'll ping. But it's kind of after the fact, right? Like
Yeah.
once you see it.
Yeah.
So just pointing out, you could set alerts. It's just very, I'm going to say, for lack of better phrasing, it can get a little annoying. So.
Well, when I was talking to Neuro Street yesterday with Sean Kozak, I don't know if everybody saw that interview, and he's building a really cool software. I'm going to talk to him and see if I can work out and try to build something on an alert service like that. That would help out a lot with our scanning. Okay,
Yeah,
so the
that
same
would be
thing with
pretty
him on
interesting.
this. Yeah.
On the ASST, I'm going to take some profit here. This is a nice move at this point. I think it now is filled. Oh, it still has more room to go. Shoot.
Hertz just made a little bit of a pop right here for about 30 cents.
I got out on the ASST, but I'm sorry. There could be a little more room. Looking at the daily chart, it's a gap fill. I miscalculated. It's too focused on reversal time. So I'm happy still with getting out. You can never go broke taking a profit. You might see it go up to 6. Bill there saying, Fausto, that your interview with Sean is a good one. Just very interesting product that he has. We do our
Yeah, it is, Bill, and we're gonna have him on again. I think it'll be in our Cyber Expo. By the way, next week is our big Cyber Expo. I don't know if everybody's got the emails coming out soon, but we got a great lineup next week. And and regarding about having him on, we're gonna have him on for the next one that's gonna come up for our next upcoming Cyber Expo. But yeah, I mean, listen, like we try to get some really good people that know what they are, and you really, we just started the podcast, and it's been really working out well, a little bit more and more. And in like yesterday, it is. Sometimes I get fascinated, Josh, talking to certain people. Like I get very interested on because some things are not your style, And I'm like, just like you guys listening in, they're like, you listen to this person, that person, and all of a sudden, just something's like a light bulb kicks in.
Yeah. Well, certain things just gel better with our strategy than others. So it's good that he works on like AI and he works on just a lot of different things in that regard. And hopefully it would be cool to
Well, he's an
collaborate.
innovator. He's an innovator. Unfortunately, like I'm in this business for so long, and like I was never a fan of all these software companies. Everybody's trying to come out with another software,
Yeah.
and I mean, we know the popular ones out there, and brokerage firms have their own, and these companies do a little bit more. And to some of us, it's a little too complicated. You don't want to get involved, you know. But it's like, can't you just give me something what I need, you know? And but some of them can't offer you that. But some of them are just trying to make money off you.
Tony here, just one of our Diamond students, Fausto, saying, I still don't understand the reason you don't do a stop loss versus taking a profit right away. Well, Tony, I know that you have a ton of the one-on-one coachings, right? Just as a longtime student of ours, we'll be able to work together in the coaching program on that. I teach a class in phase 2 about setting stops and taking profits. So we'll discuss that with you even in that full A to Z class there in phase 2. I always look to set my seatbelt. You know, when you jump into a trade, it's like driving a car. But when a stock is moving up, there are things that we'll focus on that allow us to hold on more versus, hey, if we start to see it weaken, maybe we'll move our stop up a bit. Maybe we just pull the plug. Like I pulled the plug on this and I miscalculated. It actually moved exactly up to the price I thought it would, 597. But now is reversal time. So it's as good of a time to just pull the plug. As far as setting a stop, we typically do.
Right. Well said. By the way, Archer's testing the highs again, if you haven't noticed.
That's been so good. Such a nice trade.
It's holding strong. I mean, listen, we're almost done here. We're going to be getting off the mic in about another minute, but just to tell everybody, you know, this is what you're looking for. You want a stock that's trading at the highs into the morning, really strong like this, especially in the down market. That's actually a really good sign. You know, for the market to be down, everything's a lot of reds there. I think everybody's down in all the brand name stocks, but to have something like that, that's actually a really, really good sign. But yeah, we're going to be getting off the mic, guys. Don't forget, 12 o'clock open house. So we'll post a link up there for everybody to come register. Go watch some of the videos that we post up there. If you missed the recording, we got the shorts going on from yesterday's podcast. I think that was an awesome one. You should definitely check that out. And if you got coaching, look forward to, you know, catch up on your coaching. If you got any appointments with me, I look forward to guys talking to you. And listen, just, you know, every day is a great adventure. So it's always something new that's always happening. We had a couple of good moves here. Not as great, you know, in the last couple of days. Did really good on the swings so far, but let's just hope that we get some type of form of consolidation here, right, guys? So we'll be back in about an hour and a half, but we'll still be here trading with you guys.
Yep. Talk to you guys soon.